You know it. It is your Wednesday, spell with an I, WINDSDY, stock review. Let's go all into what's going on this fantastically splendid, profitable day. All right, traders, we're going to breeze through the market really quick on today's stock review, which is, of course, Wednesday, spelled with an I. We had some traders just absolutely straight up decimate it, and we're going to talk all about it. The reason we're looking at the SPY on the hourly chart is just to kind of show you what we did today. We had a gap down, we trade up a little bit, and then we rotated over. I'm sure for all of those who've been watching my stock reviews every single day, you probably have noticed this wave count so far, not that far off. Anyway, on the SPY, again, we'll just kind of see what happens, but this is not specifically the strongest gap in close I've ever seen. We actually closed below the March 26th candle, which is a little bit of a bearish sign. So here's just kind of what I think, because again, this chart doesn't show as quite as what it looks like. It's not that big of an upper shadow. I'm thinking we most likely get a nice little bull pop tomorrow, trade up into 255, and then maybe 256, and then probably roll over to 240, almost without question. The only question is, when do we hit 240? And we could hit that tomorrow or Friday, but we will hit 240. I just don't know when. That's pretty much it, realistically, on the SPY. I think we got to have a good bullish day tomorrow, or a small inside day candle. Best case scenario, we gap down, trap anyone who bought at the end of the day, and we just get an absolute slugfest. We'll have another 4 or 5% down day tomorrow if we gap down below the low of today. We will just have to see. Time will tell. The Qs also showing a really good representation of what it looks like. And the Qs, again, pretty bearish. The fact that we closed below this candle, you had an obvious bull trap right here yesterday. Looks a little bearish, but again, I could see a small inside day or bullish day, or maybe we even pop up to 189 before we have a little bit of a rollover, potential rollover. Again, could we have just a huge bullish day tomorrow, and then Thursday, Friday, we just crush higher? And the answer is yes, absolutely. We could do that. Very, very possible. The only question is, will we? And I don't know. I do have this bear call spread on the Qs, 200, 201. Bear call. I got 25 cents on that beast, by the way. It's a 25% return on risk for less than a week worth of work. Not that bad. Anyway, here's pretty much what the Qs are doing. I mean, the trend looks a little bit bearish. It's an interesting close. We will see. But for right now, my friends, I do think we have a little bit of a retest tomorrow, and then we start seeing a rotation lower. Let's talk about some trades that we looked at and we traded today. First and foremost, just giant shout outs to tons and tons of traders out there who did extremely well today. We've been working on following a very specific, succinct trading plan for the last few days, and we're going to do it all month long in April. And Anna made 2.2 hours on Baba and 0.2 hours on Roku. Great job, Anna. We had Scott McKay got 1 hour on the Square day trade. My boy Chris Rimbault getting 3.68 Rs on Square. Square was the main one for the day. Tim also played Roku very well, so good job, Tim. And let's go ahead and kind of talk about how we played Square today. So here's ticker symbol SQ. Just a very nice, gorgeous, beautiful gap down. You gapped down below the low of 1, 2, 3 days in a row. And we also opened and almost took out the low of this candle at open. But within a few minutes, we were below the low of that candle. So where we're going to go to, we're going to come down to this purple line, which is the 200 simple on a weekly chart. I mentioned in the afternoon room just yesterday that we would absolutely, unquestionably come down to that 200 again, and we did that within 1 day. Beautiful gap. Here's how most traders played Square today, or at least some degree. Here's your 3-minute chart. And we traded down, big bullish candle right there. Once we took out that bullish candle, most traders got in short somewhere in this vicinity with the stop up here. And then you can see it just slowly roll down all day. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Well done for everyone who traded Square. Also, shout outs to Thomas Wong, who straight up murdered AMD today. And a quick little shout out to my boy Blake for noticing that AMD was going to have a nice little rollover. Let's talk through this one. Our trading plan for this month was very specific. And what a lot of traders did is we waited for AMD to gap down, which it did. So it gapped down, trade higher. I missed all of that move. And then you got some really nice rotation, a good gap fill. You got some reversal candles. If you pop in here to a 5-minute chart, the stock traded right up into that moving average and just had a nice little double top and broke down. So we had William and Thomas Wong played AMD extremely well. David Wygant played Intel really well. But shorting up in this general vicinity and covering down here at 44.41. It's a really, really nice trade on AMD. So again, congratulations for anyone who got a chance to catch that retest. I mean, really crazy that a black candle gapping down would retest. It's so strange when retest gaps retest, right? Here's the 100 simple and the 200 simple on AMD. Both myself and Ricky Cadden over there, our team RLT Australia, have been mentioning that this gap most likely going to fill on AMD. So tomorrow, again, we probably have a small bullish day. I don't know how bullish we get tomorrow, but from there, if we break lower, we could have a little bit of a strong amount of selling sometime next week. But if we do gap down tomorrow, it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath all day Thursday. Make as much money as you want on the short side. I don't think that's going to happen. It seems like we're going to gap up tomorrow and have a little bit of a bullish day, but of course, only time will tell. Here's some trades I got in at the end of the day. Lulu looks a little bit weak, and I snagged a put on Lulu. They are not cheap, that's for sure. They're also not free. If Lulu takes out the lows of these two candles, I'm going to add to some put positions. So Lulu looks a little bit on the weak side. I bought an April 185 put on Lulu. If it breaks lower, it looks weak to me. Also starting to snag some longer term calls on Carnival just in case at this point. So Carnival, biggest volume that it's had almost ever today. It was down 33%, and it's coming right back down to these lows. Now what I'm doing is I'm buying out of the money call options that expire in January. I did the out of the money $25 calls expiring January for an absolute zero, which means there's no stop loss on them. Bought them for 70 cents. So worst case scenario, I'm gonna lose 0.7 Rs on Carnival Cruise Lines, but this is a spot where it's either going to go bankrupt or we're going to get some type of bounce in the next 2 or 3 months. And I figure having some calls and paying, very small amount of money for them just in case we get a good rally could work out on Carnival. We will see. Royal Caribbean, obviously exactly the same thing. Looks like it's getting absolutely torn to bits right now with that particular close. Delta coming back down to that support. Everyone and their mom wanted Delta at 20 when it went all the way up to 30 and some change. That was a 70% return. Now you're going to get a second shot at that on Delta. Really good gap down, really good close, good volume. Again, going to be pretty interesting to see what happens, but most likely we retest on just about everything tomorrow. Of course, time will tell. CrowdStrike, I tiptoed into a put option on CrowdStrike. Per Mr. Squiggles, who is normally pretty spot on, he thinks CrowdStrike's going to pull back a little bit, only because, again, it was up 70%. So something's up 70%, you'd likely have some pullbacks and then a bounce. Again, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we're just hanging out right on top of the 100. It looks kind of similar to Lulu. If CrowdStrike breaks down, it should be nice. I'm in some puts on PayPal. PayPal had a good gap down today, really strong close. I like it. You had a bull trap followed by a bearish gap and go, followed by some flag patterns. I'm a little bit bearish on PayPal. I do have some puts, $90 puts expiring in April, and I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this weekly chart looks a little bit like a massive double top retest. I guess we'll just kind of find out what happens. Again, we could have a massive bullish day tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me at all, and I'm going to lose some money if that happens. But if we continue lower and we hang out and start breaking down on PayPal, we have the opportunity to go lower, but it's just going to be all about what happens over the next 2 or 3 days. But I do like this gap on PYPL. Boeing, sold some puts on Boeing, but I do not mind owning 200 shares of Boeing at $85 a share. Those expire next Friday. Roku, ticker symbol ROKU. We closed below the 100 simple moving average on the weekly chart today. That's kind of interesting. On the daily chart, it looks kind of like a cute little, kind of pathetic, but still decent double top in a way. You can kind of see it there. So we'll find out if that actually double tops or not, but keep an eye on Roku just in case it starts breaking down. We will find out. And last but not least, I also had a request for Gilead Sciences, GILD. Gilead is not doing anything realistically. You had the monthly chart, big breakout, really, really nice volume for sure, but this is a vaccine play, pharmaceutical biotech type of play. If you're buying it, just buy small pullbacks and tiptoe your position in. Huge breakout in February, massive volume in March, and now we're just kind of retesting in April. Buy the dip, own small size, and then the stop loss would obviously be below around 60, because if we close below these two bullish candles at any point, in the next few weeks or months on Gilead, I would not be bullish at that particular point in time. All right, folks, that about sums it up for me. A fantastic day in the markets for everyone who is a part of RLT. We did get stopped out of Shopify today on a swing trade, but we did flip it and reverse it as Missy Elliott told us in the 90s, and we made some money on the downside, so that was really nice on Shopify. We're in TEVA on a bullish swing trade. We got triggered in on MUR on a bullish swing trade. We have Beyond Meat on a bullish swing trade that has not triggered yet. We also have TUFN software that has not triggered yet, and again, it may or may not, I don't know, we will see. But yep, all kinds of greatness out there, folks. Thank you for continuing to join Real Life Trading. Every single day we get another person joins. It's amazing. I'm loving it. Let's keep that trend alive, shall we? And I will be back on Friday for a trade review. And until then, love life, live life, and trade it by. All right, simply put, that was your Wednesday stock review. Thanks for watching. You are a wonderful person.